I know what I'm getting for Christmas, at least early, and that's all the takes with our friend Pat Egan. What's going on there, Patrick?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Pat.
All right, so the big news in America today was a fly on Mike Pence's head. But the fly was just stealing the show from the real story that everyone should be talking
There's,
about.
of course, a Twitter account with over 100,000 followers
Yes.
already.
There's a
called
few-
Pence's Fly. I think.
There's a few Twitter accounts about Pence's fly. But anyway, that fly took away from the real story that everyone should be talking about today. Slutty onions. That's right.
I'm sorry, what?
Slutty onions.
Oh, wait, yes, I did see this, yes.
A company called The Seed Company decided to put an ad out for Walla Walla onions. They put a photo up and were charging $1.99. But Facebook said, whoa, 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 Seed Company. This isn't lobstertube.com. And they banned the ad, saying that the onions were positioned in a, quote, sexually suggested manner. Quote, you'd have to have a pretty active imagination to look at that and get something sexual out of it, said a representative from the Seed Company. When the New York Post contacted Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg on the matter, and if the onions were in fact sensual and got his attention, Zuckerberg got a little bit snippy.
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back at the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room are intellectually or creatively capable of doing.
Yeah, it was a bit much, honestly. A little bit. If you head on over to our Twitter account at 975 Mornings, you can see the sexy onions.
No, is there anything least sexier than an onion? Like
a cantaloupe, I can see, a watermelon.
Yeah, right,
Sure.
right. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how are the onions in a sexual position? I have never looked at onions and went, whoa.
I think they look like, as the kids call it, cake.
Cake or other
Like
things.
butt cheeks.
Oh, I thought
That's a scientific term.
that was an apple bottom?
It could be. But, apples.
What kind of onions are they?
Walla Wallas.
Oh, they're Walla Wallas?
You don't
Okay.
listen to Pat's segment.
Hey,
That's right.
we proved that a while ago.
I thought this was a joke, and then I saw it was the New York Post, and I was like, is somebody pranking the New York Post? But like,
Stupid
nonetheless.
sexy onions.
Well, who's the announcer that always says onions? Other than
Rafferty.
Jamie Lynch when he does high school basketball?
No, Bill Rafferty.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Rafferty, thank you. Yeah,
local legend.
Onions. Yeah.
Double order.
Apparently, the Walla Walla must have did Mark Zuckerberg dirty because he was having none of it.
Apparently.
Banned the ad.
What else you got?
Bill O'Brien was let go this past week, and apparently J.J. Watt had a big part to do with it, according to reports. Before the Texans took on the Steelers in Week 3, J.J. Watt had it out with O'Brien, openly questioning O'Brien's coaching ability. This led to a player's revolt against the former Penn State head coach. Watt took the high road when asked about the incident, but J.J. Watt doesn't just sack quarterbacks. He's now sacking coaches.
That's good, Pat.
See what you did there. When a team leader comes out against a head coach, that's all she wrote. And the most notable example I think of in Philadelphia was Keith Primo versus Bill Barber.
That's right.
Basically,
I forgot about
he was
that,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Ken Hitchcock was here. So how about it was Ken Hitchcock after Barber, wasn't it?
Yes.
Am I doing the math right? Yeah,
Yes.
Could have been.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hockey people.
Yeah.
This was something that Graffin Media brought up a little bit earlier. Florida, man. Florida. Okay, so the governor of Florida announced that, and this is in conjunction kind of with what happened in Tom Wolf. Tom Wolf announced in Pennsylvania that you can have up to 7,500 people at a sporting event like the Link, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, Florida said, hold my Four Loko, and their governor said that the Dolphins have permission to host games at full capacity. Full capacity is 65,000 fans. When asked for a quote, the governor had this to say.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Because it makes no sense.
Is this a new record for movie quotes in your all the take segment?
And we're not even done.
Oh, we're not even done.
Oh, no, we have plenty more to go. Pat, how do you say the name of that state again?
Florida.
Florida?
Florida.
What?
I was just wondering. Sounded funny coming out. It didn't
wait.
sound like Bengals, but it's...
Florida.
He says Florida. I say Florida.
Florida. Yeah, that's
Florida.
how I say
Wait,
it.
so
Florida.
because I don't say it like you,
No, I'm not saying. I
By the way,
didn't say that at all. Did I
Florida-
say that?
You implied it.
I just asked.
By the way,
I liked it better when you didn't listen to this segment.
It wakes me up every once in a while.
Florida, as some people like to go, is below the Pennsylvania now in terms of the RT rate or whatever that's called. That thing, like they're below 1, we're over 1 now, so that's fun.
That seems bad.
The what? The what rate?
The RT if you go to RT Live, which is what some of the doctors will recommend following all this jazz. Florida is now in the green while we're still very much in the red.
Yeah, come on, Pat. You should know these things.
That's just not one of my takes.
Do you even know states?
Yeah,
Anyway,
do you
go ahead.
even know what's going on in this
What
country?
else you got?
I've talked about the fly, Bob. All right, let me say I'm a Mickey Moniak defender. I just think we shouldn't, cast off a kid who's
No,
only
you're
22
more than
years
that.
old.
You're a Phillies. Phillies minor league.
There's never been a
apologist.
prospect I have never thought was going to be the greatest prospect in the world. That is
Okay.
true, okay? But Moniak's case,
Well, you didn't like Tommy Joseph.
I couldn't stand Tommy Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the few. But I just think that we shouldn't cast off a kid who's 22 years old. With that said, the player who went third in the draft the same year was Ian Anderson to the Braves. And like Mickey Moniak, Anderson was drafted out of high school, so this isn't like he's older situation.
right.
Same age. And, he started yesterday going 5 2/3 while striking out 8 for the Braves in their playoff game.
How about that?
In his first 2 postseason starts, Anderson has struck out 17 in 11 2/3 innings, giving up no runs. So while I'm a big Moniak guy, there's that.
Yeah, that's great.
That hurts.
And wasn't there a 20-year-old who made his debut in the postseason yesterday or 2 days ago?
Yankees had a guy,
Yankees,
youngest.
yeah.
Did
And
you
this kid's 22 years old, same age as Moniak. Yeah.
Did you really just say you're a big Moniak guy? Like, do you really believe that?
Big Moniak guy in the sense of I think that people rush to judgment on him way too quickly, which forces me to be a defender of the kid.
I agree. It's like you're making me say nice things about a guy that I don't even think will be all that great. But I know he's
exactly.
not a bust yet.
Their first round pick last year was Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott is the same age as Moniak, but when we talk about Bryson Stott, no one's like, oh, he's a bust because he's not up yet. But Moniak's been in the system so long that I think we think he's older than he is when he's really just 22 years old.
Copy that.
All right.
Well, the
moving
problem is other teams have 22-year-olds that contribute like left and right all the time.
Yeah, no, it's not great.
Let's
And
not be greedy.
Look,
Come on.
it's worth mentioning. They took Moniak to save money to take Kevin Gowdy in the second round, who has dealt with injuries and hasn't panned out. So it wasn't like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's been a crap
Oh,
show.
so they cheaped out.
They didn't necessarily cheap out.
Sounds like they cheaped out.
No, because teams do that all the time. Like the Astros did that with Carlos Correa. They took Carlos Correa at first overall,
Minor
saved
league
money.
defender.
It's not a minor league defender. The Astros did it with Carlos Correa, and they got Lance McCullers in the second round. That worked out. This Moniak thing hasn't worked out yet, but teams do it all
On
the time.
either side, the first
You're
or
a big
second round
Moniak
pick.
guy.
But the Astros got it right in the first and second round. And we got it wrong in both.
You know what? I'm glad you're talking.
Okay.
Because this
Just want to
next story,
clarify that they got it wrong.
this next story involves a guy named Jamie, just like yourself. All right.
Oh,
Finally,
probably the man.
when Bob Cooney brought up McDonald's on Thursday's morning show, his coworkers all said, yeah, I'm loving that, and decided to get wild and get some Mickey D's. The problem is Bob works at a sports radio station, and you can't just pop out and grab some McDonald's. But luckily, we live in 2020, where there's this app called Uber Eats.
Yeah.
But when Bob tasked his producer, Jamie, for ordering, Jamie was having issues with his phone.
What the
Yeah. So after his coworker Pat tried to show him how to work the phone, he got even more stressed out.
Uh-huh.
I am doing my job here. I am a pro. This is the most unprofessional I've ever been on. This is harsh.
Now, eventually the food was ordered, and it should be here by the end of tomorrow's show. But here's the worst part. Jamie, not being a foxhole guy, forgot to include someone on this trip to Flavortown.
Yeah.
DJ
Bonbon's gonna starve.
So you want to sit here and get snippy with me during my segment?
Wow.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, I mean, there's 4 of us here.
Have you ever
Somebody
ordered
could have spoken up.
on Uber Eats?
This is only like my 3rd time.
I have never ordered.
Our guy Nathan's pulling up momentarily.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Shout out to Nathan.
So Egan, hurry up with your segment.
can you
Somebody's got to get the food.
can you apologize to Bonbon? Because unlike
I'm
Bob,
sorry,
he
but-
pays attention to the show.
I mean, you 3 have skin in this game too.
I love this.
No, we don't.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I just assumed that you asked them.
You're
No,
deflecting.
you took control.
Yeah.
Why do you hate Bonbon?
Yeah, that's it.
I know.
Unfortunate.
It's
It's a
ridiculous.
shame.
Our Twitch feed's about to crash thanks to Jamie.
He's gonna body you. He's a silent assassin.
What else you
All
got?
right, birthdays. There's only one. Former Sixer and Sixers assistant coach Monty Williams celebrates a birthday today.
Monty Williams, yes, of course.
All right, today in history. In
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
It's Matt Damon's birthday.
It is
Feel like
Matt
that-
Damon. He's 50.
feel like that's worthy of a shout out.
he's
Yeah, really,
almost as
Pat.
good as Alec Baldwin.
Can I?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Watch it. What's the name? Trey Parker and Doug Stone?
Matt Stone. Matt Stone.
Yeah.
They were interviewed after Team America came out. They're like, we actually really liked Matt Damon.
He's hilarious.
We just think that his puppet in the movie was so dumb looking. We just thought, I'm Matt Damon.
Did you ever see the clip of Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel? Because every show Jimmy Kimmel ends it with "Sorry,
Yeah.
Matt Damon, we didn't have time," and they
sure.
finally had him on, and he goes through his entire Wikipedia page of everything he's been in, and he brings him out. Everyone's clapping. He goes, All right, sorry, man. We ran out of time, and Matt Damon lost it. Now it was acting, obviously.
right,
He's an actor.
Yeah,
he was
is that what he
faking
does?
it. Yeah,
Actor.
but it's a hilarious clip.
Very nice.
Okay, so
Thanks for sharing that. Pat.
in today in history, in 1915, the Phillies won their first World Series game as Grover Cleveland Alexander pitched a gem.
Who else was on that
including-
roster, James?
In 1915?
Yeah.
Pud Galvin, including getting Red Sox pinch hitter Babe Ruth out. Now, the Phillies would then go on to lose the rest of the games in the series. They wouldn't win another World Series game for 60 years. It's just a bad franchise.
Yeah, so it's true, yeah.
In 1972, the Eagles wide receiver Harold Carmichael started an insane NFL streak of 127 games with a reception. I just want to be the first to say I would take him now over J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
It's not that insane when you think Jerry Rice had over 270 consecutive games.
Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah, he was pretty
He was
good.
all right.
Yeah.
In 2011, the NFL lost one of its greatest characters. Al Davis passed away.
Yeah, absolutely one of the greatest characters ever. Yeah, absolutely.
In 2013, former baseball player Andy Pafko passed away. The reason I put him in here, Pafko's claim to fame was he was the first ever Topps baseball card.
Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome. What a great claim to fame.
And then today in 1871, the Chicago White Sox had their uniforms, record books, equipment, and personal items. They were all lost in a fire that became known as the Great Chicago Fire of 1871.
Is that the one that the cow did it?
Yeah, Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Yeah, Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
There's some rumors on that if it was Mrs. O'Leary's cow or gamblers just knocked over a lantern. But anyway, no, it'd like burn the whole city down.
Personally, I think Mrs. O'Leary was doing the hibbity-dibbity and blamed it on a cow. She's probably running around on her husband.
Maybe she was freaking. She was with
Yeah,
the cow.
Maybe.
She had some Walla Walla onions. And that is all it takes.
Mark Farzetta with Bob Cooney and Jamie Lynch. Mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.